Hi, it's Laura from Charleston Holistic Center, and today we're going to talk about coherence more. And we're going to do a little bit more sophisticated slides. So here goes. I'm going to show you some basic sine waves. Like, say you're in your brain. Here's a very nice basic wave. Here's another nice basic wave. Looks pretty normal. Let's overlay the two. All right. Now we've overlaid the two. And notice right here, they seem to overlap. But over here, it's kind of a mess. Now, third wave, overlay them. Oh, hey, we've still got overlap here. Interesting. Let's put in a fourth wave, like, say, some lovely high beta in your brain. Now let's add them all up. Well, first, we'll overlay them, right? It's kind of like a what? Now add them. Holy mackerel. What the heck is that? Yeah, there's a wave pattern to it, but it's kind of a mess. And think about hundreds of waves in your brain, what that would actually do to that pattern. That's just four. All right, let's try for a little bit of coherence maybe. So here's a basic wave, and then we add a second wave. Oh, wow, that's exactly opposite. Hint, those two are going to cancel. So trying for coherence like this isn't going to work. We had a nice third wave and a nice fourth wave. Oh, isn't that nice? And yeah, that's weird. Kind of really odd with these big dips here. That's kind of weird. Okay, well, we tried. It's not quite as crazy as the last one. All right, let's try for a musical chord. Yes, just like you would play on the guitar or sing in chorus or play on the piano. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's your bass wave. All right, so this is like middle C or something. And then you step up. That's your second. Then you do the next step up for your third. So you have your three main parts of your chord, and then you do your octave. All right, let's overlay those and see how they look. They look like that. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a pattern here. And now when you put them all together, it looks much more like the normal wave, but I want you to notice the amplitude here a little bit. Okay? So there's an actual beat to this. That's part of why a chord sounds so good, is that it has much more of a kind of standard wave pattern to it. A little outside, not perfect, but it has a standard wave pattern to it. Now, let's go for actual coherence, full coherence. All right? The blue wave, the single blue wave here, is just a single bass wave. The red wave is what happens when you add four of that bass wave together. So you get four times the wave. That's four times the energy. That's what that means. And actually, it's more than four times the energy because it's the square of the amplitude. So it's 16 times the energy. That's what happens when we go into coherence. That's why when we put our brain in coherence, we can think much more clearly and can do a lot more and can focus and can get to conditions and answers that we couldn't otherwise, because we have that much more energy, that much more power in our brain. Let's quickly look back at the chord, because our brain won't be perfectly like this, right? But let's look back at the chord, okay? Check out the amplitude, see where it is, okay? Now, Sorry, there's a little pause here because I went into a little bit of a coughing fit. So we got to get back into it. So the power here, look at the amplitude on this particular one. The amplitude here is nearly at the 4. So when we have that chord, we have a kind of normal-ish wave pattern, not quite, but yes, with these peaks. And again, that's the energy. Our brain is much more like the chord because we'll have some delta waves and some theta waves and some alpha waves and some beta waves, like the chord. And if you can get them lined up nicely, you get this sort of thing. All right, where you have that power at various points. This has implications also for multiple people meditating together. When we meditate and could get totally synced, then we'd be like that single wave, just amplified. But that's really hard because we're different people. We can get much more like the chord when we meditate together, where we're still increasing our power a lot. Remember, it's the square of the amplitude. So that's why meditating together, but in sync, can increase the power of the meditation. And, you get 1,500 people meditating all at the same time, getting into sync, at least part of them. That's a lot. That's a lot of energy running through a facility. That's a lot of energy being put out. So this is why coherence is such a thing. It amplifies what's going on. This is why we want to do coherence. So, just saying thank you and namaste.